Kwa, go ahead and do this one. Kwa, are you there?
Yeah. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha.
Okay, go ahead and do this.
The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma, in 100,000 million eons, is difficult to encounter. Now that I have come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's truth and actual meaning.
Okay, thank you. So we continue on the learning about it's very difficult to repay our parent kindness and compassion. So we continue on that. But I will briefly give you the summary of what we have learned so far. So we have some new people here. So we want to make sure that they are on the same page. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay. So in this, this is the Buddha teaching about the deep kindness of parent and difficult in repaying it. What we learn from here is when the Buddha and his disciple they walk on the road, right, on the street, and he saw the pile of bones on the street, on one side of the street, and he turned facing to the pile of bone, and he made 3 bows to the bone, and 3 times. Okay, so and his closest attendant, that means Venerable Ananda, so surprised that at the Buddha, the world honor one, that means the Buddha, why you bow to the bone? The Buddha said that, well, actually, well, Ananda said that you are the teacher of both human and God, and also you are the compassionate father of all beings. Why you bow to the bone? And the Buddha told Ananda that you are my closest disciple, but you still not yet understand reaching the far understanding. So let me tell you, in those bones, some of them could belong to my ancestor and also my parent in many past lives. Therefore, I bow to them to pay respect to my ancestor and past life parent as well. So, and the Buddha said that, can you help me to, can you go ahead and divide the bone into 2 different groups? One is for male and one for female. And Ananda said that, said to the Buddha that when the people still alive, the way they dress, they walk, they talk, we can be able to distinguish this is male or female. But once we die, everything left is just the bone. How could we be able to distinguish, right? So the Buddha said that no, it should be very easy to distinguish. The male bone is white in color and heavy and white, and the female bone is light and black in color. And do you know why the female bone is black and light? Because the female bone is well, they are the one who carry the pregnancy, right? That means they when they carry the pregnancy for the child, 10 months, and during all that time, they always thinking about the fetus inside them, and they always make sure that the well-being of the fetus, and they don't have time for themselves. Give me one. Move on. Giờ giáo pháp đang dạy học quá. Okay, có gì tiếng không? Okay, so basically the female, that means the woman, is always the one who carry the pregnant, and during that 10 months they very suffer because they are the one who constantly care for the baby. Even and at the time when the mom give birth to the baby, that is the most difficult time for them. That is the most suffering that the mom will go through. Okay, so basically it's just like 1,000 sorted pointed as it tearing the mom body. It's very suffer. That's how much suffering that the mom go through. But sometimes misfortune, the mom had to die to save the child. That is the compassionate of the mom to the child. And yes, even though when the baby come out, right, the baby need to rely on the mother milk for 3 years. And how much milk do the baby drink? It's 1,200 gallon of milk for those 3 years. Milk represent the mother nutrition and also represent the mother blood. When we drink mother milk, that means we drink her blood. That's why the female bone is black and light. They sacrifice so much to for the children, right? And after that, from that day on, the both parents will raise the children and teach them and make sure that provide them whatever they need, right? So the father, the one who go out and work so hard to bring the money home to support the family, and the mother at home is the one who do the housewife and provide whatever the necessary need for the children. They sacrifice everything. For them, there is no vacation. For them, there is no everything is everything is to the children. So their plan is around the children. They don't have a personal plan, personal vacation. So they give up the whole entire life to the children. That's why we, especially in Asian culture, we always value the parent, and we always honor our parent. That is the most important, because we know their sacrifice. And in here, the Buddha also said that when the children grow up, right, they move away from the parent. That means they go to live in another town due to their business, due to their work, and you know what they. And rarely for them to go back and visit the parent. If the one who is filial, that means the one who respects the parent, well, once in a while they come back and they visit, but the one who are not filial, that means not respect the parent, when they go and they hang around with the bad people, and they also create they could be in jail, and that makes the parent suffer more, because when the children are away from the parent always think about, worry about them day and night. That's why sometimes the parent grow to become blind, right? In the old age, they no one take care of them. That is nowadays we see in this society. That's really sad. Um, so when we learn about this, we know how to value our parents. We should take care of them whenever they need. And also in the old age, we have to take a good care of them. That is where we get a lot of blessing. Because when we take care of our parents, those blessings is unbelievable. Okay. So I just go through very quickly here. Okay. And we also learn about the fetus inside the mom, right? We also learn about that. Mm. Okay, all right, all right. Andrew, you want to read at the beginning?
The first paragraph.
Yeah, just go ahead and read it. Yeah.
How sad that all too often the children are unfilial in return. In speaking with relatives whom they should honor, the children display no compliance. When they ought to be polite, they have no manners. They glare at those whom they would venerate and insult their uncles and aunts. They scold their siblings and destroy any family feelings that might have existed among them. Children like that have no respect of sense of propriety.
Okay, you can keep going if you want to read it. Okay, stop right there. So do you understand this section right here?
Yes.
Just go ahead and give your thought about this.
So the children who like are disrespectful, like are bad.
They are not respect right to the parent. They and they show no compliance. That means obey to the parent, and they also show no manner. Right? They are not polite. Of course, and they are really bad, right? Okay. All right, Paul, do you want to read the next one?
Yes, children may be well taught, but if they're unfilial, they will not hear the instruction or obey the rule. Rarely will they rely upon the guidance of their parent. They are contrary and rebellious. When interacting with their brother, they come and go home without ever reporting to their parent. Their speech and action are very congruent, and they act on impulse without consulting other. Are such children ignore the admonishment and punishment set out by their parent and pay no regard to their uncalled warning, yet at the same time they're immature and always
immature,
immature and always
Okay. So do you understand?
looked after and protected by their elders.
So do you understand what it is try to say to us?
So all the children
Unfilial, that means the one who do not respect the parent, right? They do not obey the rule. They do not. They rarely rely on the parent guidance, right? They are very rebellious. That means they they are against the parent and also against their brother. They come and go without ever reporting to the parent. That means when we go home, right, we don't even tell our parent that we are home. Or when we are leaving the home, right, we not even tell them. And we live in their house, right, the parent house. And you know what? That really sad. Their speech and action are very arrogant. Arrogant, that means the one who very stupid, right? They act on impulse without consulting order, and the children ignore the guidance and the advice from the parent. And you know what? At the same time, they are immature. Okay. Let's say. Let me see. Nicholas.
Yes.
How do we determine it's a mature or immature? What kind of criteria that will determine this person is mature or this person is not mature. I could not hear.
It depends on their characteristics and how they behave.
Not depend on age.
It might a little bit because usually
I could not hear you.
usually younger people are less wise, meaning they're less obedient and don't behave as well. So that might play a part with their age. But people who are usually unfilial don't obey their parents' wishes and do whatever they want. They're usually arrogant and somewhat aggressive.
So, okay. So, what do you think? How do we determine this person is mature or immature?
I also don't think it depends on age, but it depends on like how they act and what type of decisions they make.
Okay. If the one who disrespect to the parent, right? Even though they are 60 or 70 years old, they still not mature, right? Because the parent, that's the one who sacrificed the most and they do not respect. Of course, they will not respect to other people. Does that make sense? So, but the one who are young age, let's say the person who are under 18, but they know how to respect the parent, obey the parent, and take the good advice from the parent, and they always care and respect other people. Yeah, even though they are young in age, but they are mature. So the mature or immature is not only depend on age, but it will depend on how we behave and how we behave towards the other people, right? That's more important than the age. So this is very important. Okay. Tammy, Sammy, do you have anything to say in here, Sammy?
No.
We have two Tammy, one is young, one is old. Okay. Okay, all right. Good, thank you. All right. Okay. Let's see. Tammy Chung, go ahead and read this one. Go.
As such children grow up, they become more and more obstinate and uncontrollable. They are entirely ungrateful and totally contrary. They are defiant and hateful, rejecting both family and friends. They befriend evil people and under influence soon adopt the same kind of bad habits. They come to take what is false to be true.
So, what do you think about this?
Like, not all, but some people, when they like grow up, they can become like not so very great people. And like they'll tell other people to do the same.
Okay. The fundamental character for the person who for the good person is the gratitude, right? The gratitude is the fundamental character for the good people. If the one who have no gratitude, that means they are definitely a bad people. Okay? So the gratitude is very important. That means the one who help us, who take care of us, we always remember their kindness and always try to do whatever we can to repay. That's how we gratitude on for their kindness, for the okay, that's important. So the gratitude is so important. Okay? That's the most important character. Okay. Okay, let me me stop right here. Let me show you the next one. What? Where are you? John Nguyễn, what do you see on the screen, John? John Nguyễn, are you there? What?
I can't really see it because I'm on my phone right now, and it's like really hard to see.
What do you see on the screen right now? I just want to make sure that I show you the right screen.
I see the fetus development week by week.
Okay, good. That with Tony, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and read this with Tony.
Week 20, Buddha, feel the arising of the karma wind named sturdy. Due to the power of this karma wind, different types of bones of the body are born.
Yeah, that means week number 20, right? So the karma wind for that power. It's created a different type of bone, that we have many different type of bones in the body. And this is where the Buddha said that not too much. Okay. May we go ahead and read number week 21.
Feel the rising of the karma wind named birth rise. Due to the power of this karma wind, it creates flesh. Your baby now weighs about.
Oh no, it's okay. We don't have to read that. So you understand this?
Yes.
So this week, the baby now it have flesh, right? That means you will. That's how we the Buddha said that. Okay. Nicholas, you want to read this one?
Okay. Week 22, Buddha. Feel the rising of the karma wind, name appropriate flow. Due to the power of this karma wind, it creates blood.
Okay, now this week, the baby now they have blood, right? So this is where the Buddha said. Okay, now Arian.
Yes.
Yeah, read the week 23.
All right. Week 23, Buddha. Feel the arising of the karma wind named pure hold. Due to the power of this karma wind, it creates skin.
Yeah, so this is where the skin it happened on this week. And this week also it make the skin look fresh, right? Let me go on to the week number 25. And this one is also so different name of the common wind called whole established. It's make the blood and the flesh gradually fresh. Okay, week number 26, feel the rising of the common wind named birth established. It provides hairy nail for both hand and feet. Hairy nail, both hand and feet. This is where we have hair and also nail for both hand and feet. Week number 27, feel the rising of the common wind named segment herbal. Due to the power of this common wind, it makes the body fully formed. The body fully formed. Yeah. All right. Christina Val, go ahead and read this one.
At that time, the Buddha said the following verse: the baby in the mother's womb 27 times 7 days. Due to the good, bad karma, the form appears pretty ugly. If the fetus is a boy, on the right hip of the mother, sit with the body bending, hands covering face towards the backbone. As the fetus is a girl, on the left hip, 2 hands onto face, sit facing toward in front of the belly. When the mother goes quickly or sit for a bit long or eat the spicy food, hot, cold does not suitable with the body temperature, or eat less, eat more, the fetus suffers. So the wise man do not cherish samsara, death and rebirth cycle.
Do you understand what does it mean?
No, not really.
Not really. Okay. 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 So the baby in the mother womb for 27 weeks, right? Due to the good karma or bad karma, the form of the baby, that means the body, right, appear pretty ugly. This is due to the power of the karma. And sometimes you, when the mom go to the doctor, right, they and the doctor say that your baby have a Down syndrome, right, or some kind of birth defect, right. So that due to the power of the karma of the baby. And also in here on the right hip of the mother, sit with the body bending, hand covering face toward the moon. This is where this is the boy. But for the girl, on the left hip, right, 2 hands on two face, facing toward in the front of the belly. That is the girl. And you know what? When the mom sit for a bit long or eat spicy food, hot, cold, they're not suitable with the body temperature, that will make the fetus suffer. Okay? The fetus suffer due to the activity of the mom and also due to the food that she put in. Um, because when we eat the cold food, right, the baby just like in the freezer. Okay? That's how the baby cold. But when we eat the hot food, the spicy food, that the baby just like in just like in the heat sulfur, right? That's very hot. So it burns, right? It's very tough. That's how the fetus suffer. So the wise man said that do not cherish samsara, that means the death and rebirth cycle. That means the white man said that we should end the death and rebirth cycle. That means that when we become enlightened, we be able to escape from the death and rebirth cycle. We no longer belong to this. We no longer be suffered by this. Right? That's what the wise said. Um, so, all right, so we stop right here. Now, let me go back. I show you the 8 consciousness and how the Steve Jobs mind work. And so you will be able to understand the importance of the mind from the Buddhism view. That also linked with whatever we learn. Okay. Okay. Last time we learned about the hearing, right? And how the hearing work, how the mind work when we listen to the song, right? Now let me finish that teaching, so we fully understand how the mind works. Okay, when we hear the music, right, the ear will contact. Actually, the ear will hear the sound of the music, but the ear, when it contacts the sound, that's where it creates the ear consciousness. Okay, the ear consciousness is just like the camera. It will take a picture of the sound. So that means at this time the ear have no idea what kind of sound is it, but it only recognize this is a sound, but it doesn't be able to distinguish. So that means it will send the image of the sound to the mind consciousness. This is where the mind consciousness, that means the brain. In the mind consciousness, that means what can we do with the brain? The brain, that means we can think, right? We can create idea, we can visualize, we can contemplate, we can make the decision, good or bad decision, because the mind consciousness, they have a short-term memory. That's where we be able to think, we be able to create idea, and we be able to visualize, contemplate, or make the decision due to the short-term memory. If there no short-term memory, that's just like the computer. When we we don't have the RAM, we cannot, the computer cannot start it, and of course nothing will be processed, right? In order for the information to be processed, the mind consciousness have the short-term memory. That's where the data is inside the short-term memory. We can use that data in that memory to think, to create idea, to visualize, to make the decision. All kind of those things, it come from here, right? So when the when the sound of when the image of the sound go in here, it will put into the short-term memory, and at this time the sound image does not have the detail. So what they do is the mana. I will talk about the mana in detail later on. But the mana in this case for now, so you can understand it easily for you to understand it. That is the one, it's clean on the data in the Alaya storehouse. That means this is the storehouse. At the notion of the self, I, me, my, mine, right? Therefore, grab the data from the mind consciousness and use it to inquiry the knowledge in the inquire the knowledge in the Alaya storehouse. Alaya will return the search result to this consciousness, that means the mana. Then it will pass the result back to the mind consciousness. Okay, so when the data comes from the mind consciousness, that means the mana said that I want to know every detail for this data, because this is the one who attached to the cell. Okay, so what they do is cell just like the ego, right? The arrogant, more in that way. So if in the past we already heard about this, if we hear this music, we have heard this music before, and we have learned about it, it will store in this storehouse consciousness. In the storehouse consciousness, what do we store? We store the knowledge. That means we have learned from school, from book, whatever. We put it here, and also the experience. That means from work experience or whatever. We put it in here also about the habit, about the good karma and bad karma. We pray throughout the mind, the mouth, and the body, right? But the mind is the one control the mouth and the body. Okay, so the mind is the most important. Many past life up to now, right? So basically, when this one asking the Alaya, and Alaya will return the data, that means the search result to here, and the mana, what they do is they compare the initial data come from the sixth consciousness with the result data. This is where the emotion comes in, and we will learn about emotion in near future about the Buddhist psychology. You will understand how this works. in full picture. Okay, now I just briefly give to you so you have a brief understand it. So the mana consonant also have another name called emotional affliction. What does that mean? All the suffering that we have, right, come from the mana consonant. Therefore, this is the most critical consonant. If we don't know this one, then we have no idea how to transform the suffering into happiness. Because this is the troublemaker right here. And I will show you step by step how to understand this in detail and how to deal with it in the Buddhist psychology. Okay, so you will understand that soon, sometime later. So when this one, after they compare, and they when the mana will put the result back to the mind consonant. The mind consonant will load the result into the short-term memory. And one, the detail in the short-term memory, you know what? We now be able to think, to create idea, to visualize, to contemplate, to make the decision, or all kind of things come from here due to the short-term memory detail data. Okay? And that is where the mind constantly be able to distinguish, okay, about the song, okay, the name of the song, the author of the song, the meaning of the song, the different kind of information of the song. The mind at this time they know based on the knowledge we have in here. And also one, the mind constantly be able to understand, to be able to distinguish it. And also it will inform the ear consciousness to the nerve, right? That I have the detailed data. And so at this time, the ear consciousness be able to distinguish as well. This is important. Does that make sense to you, everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you understand that?
Yeah, Tay.
Okay, good. Themi Chung, you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So this is very important. So you need to understand this is how the mind works. But in the medical view, they only know the first 5 cents and also the 6 consonants, the mind consonant, that means the brain. That's all they know. But they have no idea about the 7 and the 8. But actually, the 7 and the 8 is important, very important. You will learn more into that later on. Yeah. Now we will learn how we learn about the story of the Steve Jobs and how the Steve Jobs might work. We use in the 8 consonant model, and so we will walk you through. Okay. I will walk you through. Okay, let me see. Ryan, you want to read this one? Huh? Example number 5. Ryan, are you there?
Hello? Yeah, hold on. My Zoom is acting weird. Okay. Wait, which one do I read?
Example number 5. You read the top one first, then you read the story.
Okay. Example 5. The story of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was very intelligent with rich knowledge in computer technology. He was a businessman, industrial designer, and investor. He was also the co-founder of Apple Incorporated. In year 2000, when Microsoft first came out the computer tablet, they were so proud of their new invention and laughed at him. Due to this accident, Steve Jobs and his designer team have worked diligently day and night together to show that Microsoft what the real invention would look like. At the beginning, he created a prototype of the multi-touch screen tablet, the size of iPad. But he quickly thought that this tablet should be small like a cell phone, so it could be easily put into a pocket. He went to his designer's team to inquire on how to reduce it to the size of a cell phone. Finally, they were able to figure out how to do it and created the first prototype of iPhone. They successfully invented iPhone. Steve Jobs, based on this iPhone, that he was able to invent iPad and many other Apple products that nowadays million people around the world use the Apple products.
Good, that's good. That's easy to understand, right? Good.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Let's see. Lily, go ahead and read this one. Lily?
Example 5.
Yeah, how do we use?
Okay, how do we use the Buddhist psychology through the 8 consciousness model? Explain how Steve Jobs' mind worked. His eyes saw Microsoft's tablet, and it means his eyes contacted the tablet. It then created the eye consciousness, and also Microsoft's guys laughed at him because they were so proud that they had invented this tablet and Steve Jobs could not. His ears contacted those arrogant voice. It then also created the ear consciousness. At this time, the eye and ear consciousness did not have ability to distinguish, but these two consciousness just sent the tablet object and the voice object on the mind consciousness.
Good, stop right here. All right, Wayne, go ahead and read the next one. Go. The following. Wayne, are you there?
The following explain the function convert from the brain in the consciousness term. Once the mind consciousness receives the object data, it then loads in its short-term memory. The mana grabs the data from the short-term memory, and the mana wants to analyze and to compare the incoming data with data in the alaya consciousness.
Good, by sending.
By sending the inquiry request to the alaya consciousness, the alaya then searches against the data knowledge in the alaya storehouse, and it returns the search result to the mana consciousness, which it either satisfies or not satisfies with the result. It also pushes the result onto the mind consciousness short-term memory in case of Steve Jobs, since he had a lot of knowledge and experience in the alaya storehouse consciousness. The data result in the short-term memory help him to visualize the future tablet in details with different functionalities. Due to the look down on him from the Microsoft guys, it hurted his feelings. Therefore, it encouraged him, his mana consciousness, working diligently, finding all the details about tablet or similar design from his alaya consciousness. The mind consciousness, mana consciousness, and alaya consciousness were constantly working together for many hours with non-stop with back and forth. He and his team were able to come up with a new prototype for an iPhone instead of tablet. The mind consciousness commanded the sense consciousness to create an iPhone's prototype drawing by using the computer software. Finally, they successfully invented a new iPhone, iPad, and many other Apple products. The mind consciousness, mana, and alaya consciousness work together constantly. That gives the mind consciousness the power to have a lot of creative ideas, thoughts, planning, analyzing, and visualizing. The mind consciousness then coordinate with the sense consciousness to draw, to sketch, or to create the iPhone's prototype.
Okay, this will be a little bit too much for you, right? Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, tell me what you understand. Okay, it will be very tough. Let me explain to you. It will be very tough. Okay. So let me use in this model so you can understand clearly. All right. So in 2000, okay, at the beginning, the Steve Jobs have a lot of knowledge about technology, design, innovation, risk experience, etc. In this area, consciousness, the storehouse, right? So when he went to the conference meeting with Microsoft, right? And you know what? Microsoft guy tried to laugh at him. That they say that this is the real invention. Okay, because the Microsoft they just come out with the tablet, right? The computer tablet. So when the Microsoft laughed at him, right? That is the time. Okay, first of all, that means the eye see those Microsoft guy. That means it will create the eye consonant, and this will also take a picture of the Microsoft guy, right? So at this time, the eye consonant have no idea about the form. That means who are those people, right? They only know that okay, there are people, but they so they take the picture and they send to the mind consonant to the nerve, right? The ear consonant also contact the voice. That means that the Microsoft guy laughed at him, right? And it would take a picture of it and also send those images to the mind consonant, and it will load into the short-term memory. Those two information load in here, and you know what? They are there. That means they here right now we do not have the detailed memory, detailed information. So the mana consonant will wrap the data from the short-term memory, and it will, because this is the one who attached to the cell. It will say that I want to know every single piece about this image of the sound, image of the visual object. So by inquiry to the Araya Soha consonant, just like when we go to the Google, right, and we type in whatever thing we want to search for, and you click on the search engine, it's just like the mana consonant, okay? It will talk to the database, right? The database is just like the Araya Soha consonant. And the database will return the result to the search engine. That means the mana. And the result will give back to the user. That means in this case, it give back to the mind consonant. And okay, before they give back, this is where this the time that it will compare the initial data with the result. And this is where the emotion come in, okay? That he satisfied, that means Steve Jobs satisfied with the result or not. And when he looked when the man now give to the mind consciousness, that's where the detail of both visual object and also the sound, right? It will load into his short-term memory. And at this time, all the data, remember, the eye also see the tablet, right? And when he asking for searching, he want to look for every kind of desire toward similar to the tablet, or even better. That's what he tried to look for. So when the detailed data in the short-term memory become very detailed, this is where we can think, where we can create idea, planning, analyzing, where we can visualizing, and where we can make the decision. Yeah. And you know what? One if he's not yet satisfied, and you know what, he will ask this one will talk to the mana. Okay, I want more data. Okay, basically the mana will basically this is the middle guy in between of the mind consciousness and the alaya. It's all the function of this one is upload and download all the time. So to make sure that we satisfy with the result. So that means when this one is visualized, they still not satisfied. They go back to here and they ask this guy help me to get more data. So and and until the result come back with the and you know what satisfy whatever he need, he will this the mind consciousness will control. The mind consciousness will control the first 5 cents consciousness right here. That represent the body and the mouth. That represent the body and the mouth. And you know what? He will use the hand or whatever to or use the computer to try the desire, initial desire. That means the prototype with the software or whatever on the screen with the incorporate of the mind, the mana, and the adaya constantly work together. And once he have the symbol prototype, he went to his team, right? He showed them the initially the prototype that he have, and maybe the team they discuss together and they come up with a better prototype, and he go back and he all the new information will be looked in there, and also it will be go into the alaya consonant as well. So so that means his team, not only the Steve Jobs and his team, always using this kind of 8 consonant, especially this 3 right here. This is important. Upload and download constantly to visualize, to analyze, to plan, to think, right? To adjust whatever the prototype that they want to until they come up with the certified prototype. That's what they have the final prototype, and that's where they he and with his team be able to put that prototype into the from the design into the implementation and go to the QA, all those things, right? And until they produce. So basically, this is how it works. Does that make sense? Anyone? Nicholas, you learned about this already. John, do you understand John Bond?
I understand, maybe.
Good. Tammy, is it clear to you?
Yeah.
Tammy from Kentucky. No, I mean, yeah, Tammy Lee.
So yeah, it's clear to me, but I think also, if I remember correctly, I think Steve Jobs was like a really good meditator. Like he was all into meditation. Right. So I'm assuming that this whole process happens the best when you're in meditation. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Because when we have the calm mind, right, that means we can see things clear, right? When if we have too much monkey mind, that means you do not see things clear. So when we have the calm mind, and this one will communicate with this guy right here to dip into the alaya consciousness, and that's why the insight when we have a monkey mind, that means beside the detailed data we have in the short-term memory, we also have a monkey mind in the short-term memory. That's why we do not see things clear, right? But when the mind become, when we have a calm mind, that means we don't have much monkey mind. we will only have the detailed data from the alaya in the short-term memory. That's where you'll be able to we'll be able to see the we can think, we can create a good idea based on what we have in here, right? So that's good. That is a good thing. Yeah. Okay. So that's important, right? So next time I will talk about the 7 consonants, and the 7 consonants is important. Once you understand it, then we will also learn about the Buddhist psychology, so you will understand how to transform that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Aaron, do you understand so far?
Yeah.
Did it make sense to you? Andrew, does it make sense to you?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit? Okay. I will repeat this one over and over again. You will be able to understand it. Yes, it will be, at the beginning, it will be new to you guys. So it will be tough, but once you'll be able to understand it, and it seems to be very easy, not too tough. Right, Hemi? It's not that tough. Khoa, you so far so good for you?
Yeah, I'm starting to understand it.
You understand more, right? How about you, Joe? Does that make it easy for you? It's still not yet clear?
Yeah, Tay, it's starting to become clear.
Very clear? Okay, good. That's good. Paul, how about you, Paul?
I can about it in like 70% or 80.
70%. That's not bad. That's good. Quyên, what about you, Quyên? Quyên and Krishna Võ, I think
I understand it 80%.
80%. That's a lot of information you get in. Well, you just learned this about second time. You already understand 80%. Not bad. So that means my teaching is not too bad. Okay, I'm very happy. All right, we will before we stop here, let's do this. Ryan, you understand, God?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit, it's okay. That because last time you were not here, so that's why if you participate every week, you will understand this easy. Okay. Bedouin, go ahead and read this one.
May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with heart of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity. May their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this road of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and rise. May all become compassionate and rise.
Good, thank you. Thank you, everyone. We can stop right here.